Madam President, on October 1st, critical cybersecurity protections expired, and as a result of that, our nation is now more vulnerable to cyber attacks than ever before. For nearly a decade, businesses and government agencies have been able to rely on these authorities to share information about cyber attacks and help prevent them from becoming more widespread. That's why I introduced the bipartisan Protecting America from Cyber Threats Act with Senator Rounds to restore these vital protections. A broad coalition of nearly 80 stakeholders, from healthcare and financial services to energy and utilities to transportation and technology, support passing this legislation to ensure that they can continue voluntarily sharing information about cybersecurity threats with the federal government. Here's what a few of them had to say. The Business Software Alliance said we need to pass this legislation quickly, arguing that, quote, further delays in renewing this program will only serve to entrench information sharing silos between government and industry and needlessly set back the United States' overall cybersecurity posture, end of quote. The Connected Health Institute said, quote, the healthcare ecosystem is uniquely vulnerable to cyber attacks and the damage caused by them particularly severe, so the reasonable liability protections that this legislation would reauthorize are absolutely desperately needed to ensure patient security and privacy, end of quote. The CEO of UST Telecom said, quote, the Protecting America from Cyber Threats Act reaffirms what has always made
Please
our
take your
nation...
conversations off the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. What has always made our nation's cyber defenses strong, the trusted partnership between industry and government. By reauthorizing key information sharing protections, Congress ensures that private innovation and public stewardship continue to work hand in hand to safeguard our networks, protect our citizens, and reinforce the shared resilience that defines American cybersecurity leadership. The American Bankers Association said, quote, the information exchanges that this legislation facilitates will significantly enhance the financial sector's ability to respond to large-scale cyber incidents, strengthen our defenses, and safeguard customer data. Allowing these protections to lapse chills threat sharing and impedes rapid response, leaving banks, consumers, and the broader economy more vulnerable to adversaries. Even the U.S. Chamber of Commerce has weighed in and said, quote, lawmakers must quickly reauthorize these cyber information sharing authorities to give businesses legal certainty and protection against frivolous lawsuits when voluntary sharing and receiving threat data. The Alliance of Automotive Innovation has said, quote, this policy has worked, and as vehicles get more digital and more connected and connect to other devices, vehicles, and infrastructure, the cyber attack service will only grow exponentially. We need this landmark law to stay on the books to secure the mobility ecosystem from current and future cybersecurity threats. The National Association of Manufacturers said, quote, sharing information about cyber threats and risk mitigation measures is absolutely fundamental to manufacturers' efforts to improve their cybersecurity posture and protect themselves and their customers. Bottom line, these are just a few of the leaders across key industries who are calling for us to pass this legislation immediately, today. This is about protecting the systems that power our homes, that connect our families, and keep our economy running. It's about giving our cyber defenders the tools that they need to act fast and to act smart. Our adversaries are not going to stop their attacks, but without this law in place, many of our nation's companies and critical infrastructure will be in the dark as they try to defend themselves. So, Madam President, I urge my colleagues to pass this legislation today so we can protect our economy and our entire nation from the threats of cyber attacks.